the monetization of renewable assets. And last entire year every quarter we have been acting upon monetization of these assets and strengthening the balance sheet. And even in the Q1 when that deal with InvIT got scrapped, we still said very short and within a very short time period we'll come out with some new structure which will be more beneficial for shareholders. And now we are saying that we have 15 to 18 months to decide on deal structure and all. So what exactly has happened and why we are dealing with?
So Gopal, first of all, it is not correct to say that we are just delaying it or is damaging the balance sheet. It is incorrect, because the reason why we relooked at InvIT is because all the other plans that were there last year we successfully made. So therefore our balance sheet, you should appreciate that our balance sheet today, by any stretch of imagination, whether you take debt to equity or debt to EBITDA, is as good as it can be for an infrastructure company like ours. So the point was that having got it done even in a difficult year like last year, we felt that we should not hurry up and not deliver for our shareholders the value probably the renewable business. So first of all, we have attained our target of balance sheet ratios. Now the challenge is to achieve growth without increasing leverage greatly. So for that, it doesn't mean that we are on overtime to secure additional capital, etc. We have time in our hand. We have this entire FY22 plan has already been made. Last year we delivered 5,400 crores of cash flows before capex, and this year is going to only increase over that. So we have good accruals to support our current plan. So we are under no pressure. However, when I mentioned the timeline, I did say 0 to 18 months, which could be happening sooner also. But what I wanted to emphasize was we are not in a tearing hurry that has to happen tomorrow. We want to do the right thing. So I think that we are in good shape and we are on track. And as soon as something really concretely happens, we are working on that very, very, very assiduously. So as soon as something happens, we will definitely share with you. So I think there's no damage happening, or there's no serious problem happening by not taking that decision yesterday.
Sure. Yeah, that was helpful. Second is on this renegotiation on the CGP and PPA. What is the status on that?
So currently the last kind of proposal, if you remember the HPC, there was an HPC committee report which was acceptable to us, but subsequently there were a lot of developments in Gujarat regarding the cases relating to the other two operators, and in that process a lot of modifications were made to the original HPC recommendations which were not acceptable to us. We have conveyed that to the procurers, and we feel that is not going to help us. So we will have to, because that doesn't really solve the problem for which really we went to the procurers for. So as of now, it's a standstill, and we are trying to contain the CGPL losses as much as we can, and only when there is a solution worth considering that we would really take it up.
Okay. And lastly, on this coal side, the prices change in the HVA has been more than what we are realizing. What is the gap? Since you are saying there is no DMO which was there in this Q1, and at what price DMO gets applicable?
$70.
$70.
But there is an additional condition there that it has to meet the domestic requirements. Okay. So therefore, the whole idea is that the domestic offtake should not suffer from a huge market increase in prices. But if the domestic offtake is not there due to any reason, we will not have an issue. So that all depends on what is the domestic demand and whether we are able to supply to that demand.
And this gap, like the delta change in the HVA is almost $10, whereas our realization has just moved by $6.
Yeah, but the realization, remember that it is at a much higher quantity.
Sorry?
The realization increase is also on a larger quantity. And two things, since you asked that question, the increase in cost in CGPL is a factor of also the carry of the stocks, whereas the increase in the realization is real-time sales locked by the coal mines. So there is normally a lag which we notice. Okay, broadly they meet. That is why our PAT there is a chart I think we always show that the CGPL plus coal companies. So you will see the trend. They no more or less they kind of match the delta in the long run.
Sure, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have next question from the line of Bhavin Vitlani from SBI Mutual Fund. Please go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity. If you could help us on funding of the renewable capital expenditure, 11,000 crores of debt, what is the proportion of debt that is repayable each year, or you could refinance, and with a 2,100 crores EBITDA, what is the kind of capital expenditure or addition that we could finance from the existing balance sheet of the renewable SPVs?
Bhavin, if you don't mind, I'll ask Rahul to give you those numbers.
Sure, no problem. The second thing is we've seen a considerable increase in the debt, almost 2,000 crores of debt from the solar EPC business. I mean, if you could help us understand the reason for it and when do we see this normalization?
Well, this quarter has been a very high activity quarter, and as a result, the end of the quarter they were sitting with receivables. But this will get liquidated in the next 3 to 6 months, as is the normal trend. So this is just the higher the activity, in that quarter end you normally see an increase in debtors, but it will come down in the next 2 quarters.
Sure.
Generally 3 to 6 months, most of the EPC receivables get liquidated.
Understand. Just last question, if you could give us an update on the FGDs, I mean, what is the status of the FGD installation, and we have seen an increase in the regulated equity for methane. Is it related to the FGD commissioning?
Well, sorry,
I don't think FGD has any impact on MPL because the work is still going on, and as per the latest guidelines from MOEF, most of these have to be completed by December 24. So we are on track. Orders have been placed in all the locations, and we expect to complete it well before the timeline that has been set by MOEF. Only Jojobera Jamshedpur is required to be done by December 22, and that also work is under progress. So all orders which are required for FGD has been placed, and we will complete it well within the timeline.
We had a very small equity requirement for FY22 for this, because most of them advance, only the minimum advance has to be paid. So really speaking, FY22 there's not much. It's really coming up in 23 and 24.
Okay. So sorry, just what is the reason for increase in the regulated equity from 1440 crores to 1650 crores in methane?
Oh, that's the railway. The railway commissioning, which was done, has resulted in that increase in equity. This is in methane.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much for taking my question.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have next question from the line of Abhineet Anand from MK Global. Please go ahead. So please go ahead.
My first question is on CGPL. So if you see X of capital orders which have impacted both your revenues and other income, what could have been the loss at CGPL?
If you remove that, it would be about 150 odd crores.
Loss, right?
Yes.
Okay. And second is, we heard some of the EPC guys in solar, saying that Chinese module players have been resigning contracts because of the fact that module prices on a YY basis increased by more than 30-40%. What has been our experience on that, sir?
I think we have had decent relationships. Yes, there is a price increase, and some of the price increases was what has led to some erosion in some of the older contracts. But I think we are getting into good terms with them for the ongoing and the future contracts. So there's been some minor issues, but I don't think this is so serious that we have a big problem at hand.
And majority of our contracts would be from these Chinese only, right?
Yes, majority would be Chinese. Yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have next question from the line of Sumit Kishore from Axis Capital. Please go ahead.
Thanks for the opportunity again. In case of CGPL, we noticed that the interest and finance cost is lower year on year by about 1.07 billion rupees. The debt repayment actually happened in a major way in second half of the fiscal in CGPL, if I recollect. So, would you say that for the full year, given the first quarter itself has seen a 1.1 billion rupee reduction in interest, for the full year this run rate should be maintained, or was there something exceptional out here?
Yes, I think this will repeat.
So we'll be looking at an interest cost saving year on year of over 400 crores.
Slightly less, I would say. This is we can check whether there is a forex element in this. Oh, okay. So this may continue. This benefit compared to last year will be max for 2 quarters because as you rightly said, the reduction happened in the second half. So the second half may not see the same savings.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Correct.
But the impact of refinancing the cost of debt lower, that may still reflect in third quarter and fourth quarter.
Yes.
Yeah. My second question is, on the Trombay PPA, which is expiring for most units by FY25. Your sense on, because obviously those PPAs will not get extended for the plants which are more than 25 years old. So would you confirm that those plants would be shut down? How much land will get freed up? And what is your thought process on land utilization?
So let me try to put this as 2 separate questions. The first is that while the PPA is there till March 24, because of the incident that happened last year on 12th October, there is a thinking in the government and which is backed by report from CA and expert committees that there should be a large embedded generation in Mumbai to take care of such type of transient conditions and to bring more robustness and surety in the supply to Mumbai. So that's the reason that they are now looking at having a PPA to be extended for a few more years till alternate arrangement is made of ensuring or enhancing the embedded generation in Mumbai. The second is about the land and other things. That will only happen once we take a call what is to be done. So right now, Maharashtra government and MERC and DEST, which is one of the buyers of this power, apart from Tata Power Distribution, have to take a call based on the guidance from the government and the regulator.
Okay. However, it may boost Tata Power's ESG credentials to shut down a plant which is over 25 years old. My third question is.
This plant has FGD set up way back in 1990. So this is one of the cleanest plant, and that's why it has been allowed to function over here. Secondly, it uses very good quality environment coal. So it has only ash less than 10%, while the normal Indian coal has a 40% ash. So it uses very, very efficient equipment. It uses coal, which has the least pollution, and it has FGD and all. So to that extent, it is not that it is enhancing or increasing the coal footprint of Tata Power. It is just maintaining what it is. And we are also exploring, as a part of the government initiative, that if we can put a gas-based plant in Trombay, which will take care of the embedded requirement, and at that stage, possibly the Unit 5, which has completed more than 25 years, can be decommissioned.
Okay. So my last question, on what is your plan to enhance your solar module cell manufacturing capacity? And in light of the announcements at the RIL AGM, what opportunities do you see to work as an EPC contractor for RIL, or any tie-ups that are being explored?
So let me tell you that Tata Power set up manufacturing for cells and modules way back in 1991. Not only in India, but globally, no one was thinking about it. Last year, we enhanced the capacity. We doubled the capacity of cell and module from 250 megawatt to 500 megawatt each. And we do have plans that we will enhance the capacity of the existing cell and module further, depending upon the market conditions. Government has come up, the state governments have come up with capital subsidy plan. Government of India has come with a PLI plan, and we are in active discussion with them to examine and see that how best we can avail those benefits and how this will become cost competitive and there will be enough demand for this. So this is very much under discussion, under work, and we will again do things which are right for the company and right for the country.
Sure. Thank you and wish you all the best.
Thank you, sir. We have next question from the line of Mohit Kumar from DAM Capital. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thanks for the opportunity once again. Sir, is there any plan to increase the solar manufacturing capacity, given that all our competitors are are announcing a sizable, in some sense, first solar announced 3 gigawatt, then the Reliance Power is doing a very large capacity. Do we have some plan to increase our capacity? That's the first question. Secondly, does the solar PLI, do you think is worth changing for us?
I just now responded to these questions that these are definitely plans and we are looking at PLI. So this is already answered. If there's anything more than that, you may please ask.
Okay, sir. So coming back to the renewable assets, we have 2.6 gigawatt operational, 1.4 gigawatt of, the pipeline. I assume that most of these will get commissioned in next 12 to 18 months. So is there any medium-term target we are looking at, by the time we do some kind of monetization? In the sense, organic and inorganic. Are we looking at inorganic opportunity also?
No, we are looking at all kinds of growth opportunity, but let me say that it is not just for monetization, it is part of our strategy. Monetization is also a parallel strategy which we are having in mind, but really speaking, for us the growth is anyway a target, and therefore there is no specific target only till the monetization stage. So we've put it out to you already that a minimum of 2 gigawatt is what we are trying to achieve in a year. And that target will remain irrespective of monetization.
The last time the perpetual debt, which you have replaced. So what is the impact in terms of cash flow? What was the original the coupon we are paying on a perpetual debt versus the amount we are paying on the debt we have taken to replace this perpetual instrument?
So 11.5% is the coupon. And the replacement, there's a one-to-one replacement, let's understand. We have a basket of debt going. Currently, our average debt profile is just less than 7%. So therefore, what number you have to assign within that is a choice.
Understood, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you and all the best. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. We have next question from the line of Puneet Gulati from HSBC. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. Just as a follow-up, is there any update from Indonesia on the mining renewal?
The update is that the process is right now, I think there's a lot of deliberations going on with the industry. We've settled it in terms of the key changes that the government wanted. There are a couple of things which the government wants to fine-tune, and that I think is a more of parliamentary procedures, etc. So we hope that in the next couple of months, the license renewal clarity would be there in terms of date. But what is important to note is one license of a similar nature, slightly different, of course, in size, etc., has already been done. So we expect a similar course of action.
Any adverse impact on royalties or any other taxation that you see for this similar license?
Yeah, so there are multiple, let's say, changes. Royalties change, corporate taxes change. There is a new VAT, but on the other hand, there is some VAT refund procedure. So it is a whole bunch of changes, including land, the total area to be mined. So changes, but I think net is not going to be a major shift from what we have. They're just trying to make it more disciplined.
Okay, understood. That's very helpful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have next question from the line of Dhruv from HDFC AMC. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Sir, one thing which I noticed on your debt profile, if you see the cash balance has increased significantly. I believe part of that is because of the Odisha, which I understand from the annual report, but still it seems quite high. Is there, is it temporary or is there something else here?
No, it's temporary because, in fact, in this month itself, about 2,500 crores is already, or nearly 3,000 crores is already reduced from that cash balance because this was the money lying from the various profits and proceeds outside of India in our SPVs. So that has come back. So that's now done. Further, I think June end, of course, we had some last collections, a bunch of large collections which were there, which we had parked for repayments, etc. That is also getting used. I think it will see, apart from that Odisha thing, I think mostly will be back to business normal by end of next quarter.
Okay. And sir, the second thing was the DTA that we have provided for because of the MAT change, about I think 200 odd crores in your notes. So is that passed through in your because I believe that's coming in the standalone. So will it be a pass through in your tariffs or does it have a PAT impact?
Just 1 minute.
I mean, do you get it as a pass through in your regulated business?
Okay, two things in the regulated business does it get? No, so it will not be absorbed, but it will also get reversed in the next quarters. Okay, and there is no effect on the consolidated profit. So these are the three inputs we want to give you.
Okay, so this I was wondering, should I adjust for this 185 or should I not?
I think you should not count this 185 for your purposes. There is no counter effect this quarter.
Okay, so I should not worry about this 185. I should not add it back to the PAT number to the adjusted PAT.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, this is not impacting the PAT numbers that way. Got it.
No.
Sure. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, due to time constraint, we are taking the last question from the line of Swarnim Maheshwari from Edelweiss Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity again. On Tata projects, we had that.
Swarnim, we are not able to hear you. Oh, he's lost it.
Sorry, yes.
He's lost.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the last question. I now hand the conference over to
all the analysts who were on the call for arranging the call, and we look forward to catching up if you have any other questions. Thank you. Bye and take care.
Thank you very much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Tata Power, that concludes this conference call. Thank you for joining us. Disconnect your line.